So hello, and thank you for coming to Thankful Thursdays. My name is Ashley Lynn Caputo, and normally we have Amy Fiorentino here with me. She's enjoying a live Zoom training today to learn more to help teach some more cool things to you guys next week. So for today, I thought we could all do a couple of very calming and grounding practices in these interesting times. So to begin, we're going to start with a mudra, or a hand position in yoga, a gesture. So we'll take our peace fingers. Everybody knows the peace sign, right? So both hands, and then we're going to ground them down into each side of you. So if the ground is there, if a chair or cushion is there, so you're going to kind of ground down into the earth as you sit upright. And you can close the eyes for a moment if you like, and just begin to take a few nice deep breaths here. If you're a yogi, you can do that 3-part breath, inhaling, filling the belly, ribs all the way up to the collarbones. And then exhaling, reversing direction. You'll draw your navel muscles slightly in and up, the base of the exhale, continuing a few more breaths. So knowing that this position with the hands is known as Bull Mudra, and it's a very calming, grounding. It's rooting you down into the ground. So as you're sitting there for a moment, perhaps breathing and repeating the following mantra to yourself. Sensing into the roots of my being, I feel connected to the earth, secure, grounded. Sensing into the roots of my being, I feel connected to the earth, secure, grounded. You might feel that downward spiral of energy rooting you down into the first chakra, really grounding you, center of safety and security. So filling you up there, it's very calming. It's going to instill a sense of security, of calm, of peacefulness, kind of a patience. So maybe you take a few more breaths there. And so you could even hold this for a time if you needed to, maybe 10, 15 minutes if you wanted to do a seated meditation like that. But for now, you can come on back and shake it out. So I'm trying to monitor. If anybody has any questions, feel free to type them in, and I'll see if I can get them for you. So we also want to be doing, just like I said, that deep breathing. So if you take a hand to your belly, you can take the other hand to your chest. I want to cover the mic here. You want to think about inhaling and filling your belly. So you'll feel that hand pop out a little bit, and then draw the breath all the way up and then to the chest finally. And then exhale, reverse the direction, navel muscles draw in. So when you draw those navel muscles in up a little bit, that's going to press on the vagus nerve. And so that is going to move you into that rest and digest. So a couple more breaths there. So if you're a yogi, you can also add on the ocean sound, the ujjayi sound. So it sounds kind of like the slang term would be Darth Vader, or an ocean, we like to say. And you're just constricting the back of the throat. It's almost as if though you're holding a mirror in front of your face and fogging it up, like, but it's with the mouth shut. So it's So give it a try. So you're making that sound. So the sound as well as the breath and drawing in the abdomen are both constricting or moving onto the vagus nerve. So that's moving you twice into that downward regulation cycle that we want to get into. And so if you're adding the sound, it's called ujjayi breathing in yoga. And just the regular 3-part breath is, of course, known as dirga breath. Okay? So another thing that we can do that's not necessarily yogi, but we do a lot of yoga poses that move both sides of the body, is we can just take an object and toss it back and forth. So this is bilateral stimulation. You're moving both sides of the body. You're stimulating both sides. You're activating both hemispheres of your brain. So that's very calming. It equalizes things, shifts your perspective. And so you could do it with a cell phone. If you didn't have something, you could be crossing the midline of the body with your hands out in front of you. You can just be tapping yourself like this. So different little things to calm the body down. So another interesting thing that we can do is we can do something similar to that with the eyes. So if you're watching here, I'll use my fingers and you can follow my fingers, but you'd be able to do this just by looking up and to one side and then take your eyes on a diagonal down. So you can follow my fingers just going up and down, and then up on that diagonal, and down a few more times, up, and down, and then you go the opposite way, up, and diagonally down, and then up, diagonally down. We'll do it 2 more times, diagonal up, diagonal down, and last one, diagonal up, diagonal down, and now infinity signs. Tracing an infinity symbol in the air or following my finger if you're watching. So that's very calming to the mind as well. So interesting things we do. So another thing you can do is you can kind of just give yourself a little hug or even little gentle movements, kind of a self-soothing kind of tap or rub here. Maybe you give yourself a little hug. You can always say something kind to yourself too. And then we can move into, this one's kind of fun. So when I was little, I used to kind of play when I was driving in the car, like I Spy. I think my parents were just trying to keep me busy, you know, because I was always like, oh, what can I do next? So we'd be like, what do you see? What do you spy? So we do something kind of like that to ground us. And what we can do is we can look around. We can say, I am aware, I see. And then you'll name 3 things. So I'm aware I see a lamp. I'm aware I see a candle. Must be about lights today. I'm aware I see a mirror. And then you can shut your eyes, unless you need them to be awake. And you can say, I am aware, I hear. And you might have to listen for a while, but if you listen really, really intently, you might find 3 different things you hear. So I can hear some air conditioning. I can kind of hear an echo in this studio. And I can hear something going on outside. I think they're mowing the grass. And then we move into, I'm aware I feel, and I don't mean emotions here. You want to be grounded. So I'm aware I feel my butt on the cushion. I'm aware I feel my ankles crossed, and I'm aware I feel some heat from the lights that are lighting me up here. So sometimes that's called the Erickson technique, and that's just a great way to ground into where you are now. And let's see, what's another good one we do? So something else you can do is you can think of something from the past. Maybe it's an image that is very peaceful to you, very calming. It might be a place, it might be the beach or something at all. It could be a flower, anything at all that you find. It's kind of like a bhavana or an image. In yoga we would call it bhavana. And so once you find whatever that image or thought, or it might be a word for you, whatever it is, then you can take your hands out, take a deep breath, and we'll use a little nada yoga, which is combining sound and movement. You can go shamaya, and then inhale your hands out. And again, shamaya, and one more time. And shamaya. So it's 3 syllables, sha, ma, ya. Sha is a very soothing sound. Ma in many languages is like mother, it's nurturing, so that's calming, peaceful. And then ya is a seed sound for the heart. So ya, like yummy. So that's kind of calming and peaceful as well. And then we have something called tapping. So I'm just going to make sure I don't tap on the mic here. So there's different people say different scripts with tapping. People tap different ways. Basically, you're going to be tapping on little acupressure points or meridians. And I kind of feel that if I tap the different meridians, it doesn't really matter to me anyway what order they go in. So if I'm experiencing some anxiety, some stress, or something like that, I'm going to name my issue. So let's say stress. So I'm going to tap the crown of my head, and I'm going to say, even though I'm experiencing this stress, I love and approve of myself totally and completely, and am willing to let it go. And then I come to right above the eyebrow. Even though I'm experiencing this stress, I love and approve of myself totally and completely, and am willing to let it go. Then the sides of the eyes. Even though I'm experiencing this stress, I love and approve of myself totally and completely, and am willing to let it go. And then underneath the eyes. Even though I'm experiencing this stress, I love and approve of myself totally and completely, and am willing to let it go. And then right below the nose, even though I'm experiencing this stress, I love and approve of myself totally and completely, and am willing to let it go. And then your chin cleft. Even though I'm experiencing this stress, I love and approve of myself totally and completely, and I'm willing to let it go. And then right above your clavicles, and even though I'm experiencing this stress, I love and approve of myself totally and completely, and I'm willing to let it go. And then kind of like a King Kong here, even though I'm experiencing this stress, I love and approve of myself totally and completely, and I'm willing to let it go. And then your karate chops. Even though I'm experiencing this stress, I love and approve of myself totally and completely, and I'm willing to let it go. And so you can do that again. I usually do it about 3 times. So again, it's top of the head where you say your little phrase, and then above the eyes. Even though I'm experiencing this stress, I love and approve of myself totally and completely, and I'm willing to let it go. Sides of the eyes. Even though I'm experiencing this stress, I love and approve of myself totally and completely, and I'm willing to let it go. And beneath your eyes. Even though I'm experiencing this stress, I love and approve of myself totally and completely, and I'm willing to let it go. And then below the nose, even though I'm experiencing this stress, I love and approve of myself totally and completely, and I'm willing to let it go. Chin cleft, even though I'm experiencing this stress, I love and approve of myself totally and completely, and I'm willing to let it go. And then again, the front, even though I'm experiencing this stress, I love and approve of myself totally and completely, and I'm willing to let it go. And again, even though I'm experiencing this stress, I love and approve of myself totally and completely, and I'm willing to let it go. And then your karate chops. Even though I'm experiencing this stress, I love and approve of myself totally and completely, and I'm willing to let it go. And you can just take a nice big breath in after you've done that a few times, and sigh it out. And so that can be repeated as often as you like. And that's pretty effective, at least in my opinion. I like to do that when I'm feeling really overwhelmed. So another thing I thought I'd show you today is Brahmari, or bee breath, we call it in yoga. So if you're a yogi, you can take Shamukhi Mudra, which is basically you spread your 4 fingers out really wide, and your index finger would go over your eyes, and then your middle finger comes like below that, and your ring finger is going to come right to the side of your nostril, and then your pinky finger kind of pulls your mouth into a smile. So not yet, but when you are ready, these index fingers kind of close your eyes, but you might watch for a moment. Your thumbs will close off your ears. So that's one way to do it. You can have your hands like that, or you can kind of just put your hands on your head and close off your ears. But before you do, what you're going to want to do is you're going to take a few regular breaths just to get into your natural breath rhythm, because we're not really changing the breath in this one. And then when you do seal off, you're going to keep your lips closed, and you're going to make a humming sound, kind of like an ng or an n. So it's humming like a bee. That's why Brahmari means bee. So it's that n. So you can choose which hand position you like, and then take a nice breath in. Go ahead and block off your ears, whichever one you want. It doesn't matter what you sound like. Every bee is different. Big inhale, and then So we'll do a couple more. And then release. Of course, if you do have any problems with your ears, if you're having an ear infection, that might not be comfortable, but I think you'll get the hang of it. So that's very internal, and the humming again is going to be vagus nerve stimulation. The breath is stimulating the vagus nerve, and that internalness really takes you inside. It's very calming, very soothing. We can do one more breath that is very calming, and I'll do it both ways, the yogi way with the hands, and then a more useful, easy way if you don't feel too comfortable with the hand work. So again, we'll take our right hand and we'll make the peace sign. And then you're going to take the peace fingers down, and your thumb and your other 2 fingers come out. It's almost like hang loose in Hawaiian, but your ring finger on your right hand is going to be out too. So that's the one hand position. If that's not comfortable for you, because what we'll be doing is we'll be blocking the right nostril with the thumb, the right thumb, and then the right ring finger will block the left nostril as we move back and forth. So if that's not comfortable, then shake that out. Take your peace fingers of your right hand and place them right above your kind of, a little below, I'd say, your third eye, kind of at your brow there. And then it's pretty easy for you to take your right thumb and or your other two fingers to the right thumb to nostril, right nostril, and the other one or two fingers to your left nostril. So whichever hand position you like. So you're not going to be taking your fullest, deepest breaths necessarily. You want this to be comfortable for you, so it is calming and soothing. If it's not calming, then it's not doing its job. And again, because we're going to be going back and forth, Nadi Shodhana means alternate nostril breathing. It's that back and forth. So it's a very calming, balancing breath. So you do want it to be comfortable. So taking whichever hand position you like, either right peace fingers at the brow or right peace fingers fold in, other three fingers come out. And then you'll go ahead and inhale through both nostrils. Exhale, releasing it out. And you're going to block your right nostril and inhale up through your left nostril. And then seal the left nostril and exhale down your right side. And then inhale up the right side, seal the right nostril, exhale out the left nostril. Inhale up the left, seal, exhale down your right nostril. And then inhale right nostril, seal the right nostril with the thumb, and exhale left nostril. Again, inhale left nostril, seal the left nostril. Exhale through the right. And then inhale right nostril, seal the right. Exhale left. Inhale left nostril, seal left nostril. Exhale right. And then inhale right nostril. Seal it. Exhale left. And again, inhale left nostril. Seal it off. Exhale through your right. Inhale right nostril. Seal it off. And exhale left. We'll do one more. Inhale left nostril. Seal it off. Exhale right nostril. And then inhale through your right nostril. Seal it off. Exhale out through your left. Release the hands and just pause for a moment. Breathing normally. Just notice what you notice. And sensing into that. So again, that's Nadi Shodhana. All right. So there's also some postures we can use. So a couple of restorative postures that might be kind of nice and calming and grounding would be a restorative child's pose. So you could take a bolster. If you're at home, you could prop up a few pillows. Maybe you kind of use a blanket on top. You're going to kind of straddle. You should make a V with your knees. And if you need some cushion, then you just add some cushion under your tushin. And then you kind of fold forward. I have to watch the mic. But you could have your hands up for receptivity or down for grounding. And you could pause there for a little bit. And just really ground into the earth. Another thing you could do is, it would be hard for me to probably be on camera and do this, but if I had a wall, so this cushion is now going to be the wall. So you're going to imagine scooting your butt up to a wall. So you kind of just put your legs up the wall, Viparita Karini. So you just kind of hang out there. It's very grounding. You can take a few breaths there. You're going to release any inflammation out. So it's nice for fatigue as well, but it's also calming. All right. So again, this has been Thankful Thursday, and I hope you enjoyed our brief little practice, and hope to see you all soon. Thanks so much.